Let me just go through some of the things to remember when you're doing a presentation. First of all, remember body language is good. You don't have to stand there like a rabbit trapped in the headlights of a truck. Relax, and your body will just find its own mannerisms and its own gestures. This sounds like a silly rule, but make sure that you're wearing comfortable shoes. A lot of people have a big presentation, so they go out the weekend before and they buy some shoes and they are in agony while they're giving the presentation, which is no good. No one's looking at your feet, so make sure you're wearing comfortable shoes. Oh yes, make sure that everything is buttoned up and zipped up. Make sure that your presentation and your clothes are the way they should be. There will be a bathroom somewhere near where you're presenting. 5 minutes before your presentation, just go in and just check that everything is the way it should be. Try not to have, if you're a lady, try not to have a necklace so that you're fiddling with it. Try not to be fiddling with rings as you're talking, because that's very off-putting and very distracting. Somebody's probably going to present you, and so you have to think like the soldiers in the firing squads, where they get the gun and they go ready, aim, fire. That's what you have to do. So when you're introduced, walk onto the stage, ready, look at your audience, and begin. Don't just rush onto the stage in a massive tide of adrenaline and start gabbling. Just ready, aim, fire. In some places where they give presentations, you have a lectern, one of those large wooden pillars where you can put your notes. Don't go near it. It's a massive barrier between you and the people you're talking to. Whenever you can, avoid the lectern like the plague. And stand up, never give a presentation sitting down. You would never tell people that there was a fire in the building while you're sitting down. Well, you shouldn't be telling them about your presentation while you're sitting down. What you're telling them is important, so you should be on your feet. Don't have props. If you've got lots of cards, those index cards, don't have those index cards in your hand all the time, or fiddling with a biro. It's very off-putting. You should have rehearsed your presentation enough for you to be able to give your presentation without a large pile of cards or a large pile of notes. Never be yourself in a presentation. There's a thing called the power position, where you stand up with your feet slightly apart, your head up and your shoulders relaxed. And that way you are controlling the entire space of the auditorium where you're speaking. It's called the power position, and it's worth practicing. When you smile, you release endorphins in the brain, and it relaxes you, and it gives you a pleasant sensation. You'd be surprised how many people forget to smile when they're giving a presentation. I mean, if you're not giving a presentation to the National Funeral Directors Association, smile. It's great. This is great. You're telling them something interesting and they're enjoying it. So remember to smile at them. Look at them in the eyes. Don't stare at them like some kind of psycho, but look around the room and look at people in the eyes. If you're a bit nervous and you don't like looking at people in the eyes, look at this point on their face, and it will look as though you're looking directly at them. So make sure that you're making eye contact. When you're giving gestures, give nice open gestures. Whereas when you're talking to a friend in the office, you might gesture like this. When you're giving a presentation, just make them a little bit more open. Try not to raise your hands too much above shoulder level, because you're going to look like some kind of rap star and not a sensible presenter. So open gestures, but keep them low. If you're going to walk from one part of the stage to the other, that's fine. Do it. But don't start prowling around like some kind of lion that's toying with a dead zebra. Just if you're going to walk, but don't prowl around. If somebody's got a question, go towards them, especially if it's a deliberately difficult question, because it shows that you're interested in what they're saying and you're accepting. Listen to the question, and then you can go back and answer the question for everybody else in the room. Be open. Don't do all this and covering your body. If you say, for example, There are three things I want to say about medical care in this country. Number one is la la la. Number two is la la la. Make sure you say the third one. You would be surprised how many people say, there are three things I want to say, and they only say two. And remember, on the keyboard of all computers, there is the B button. If you have a nice PowerPoint or a nice Prezi presentation behind you, and you want to just go off the track, press B and the screen goes blank. B for blank. And then you can just go off the track and explain what you want to explain. And when you want to go back into the presentation, press B again, and you can start from where you left off. Lots of people give good presentations, and then at the end, when people start to applaud, they do something like what is that about? It's the denial dance. They are denying the applause. Your presentation doesn't finish until you have sat down. Some people say your presentation doesn't finish until you've got into the car to go home. So if you get applause at the end of your presentation, accept it. And don't go to your seat sideways like some kind of crab. And these are, I think, about 20 points that are worth remembering when you do a presentation. But the best training for a presentation, practice, 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 and also watch 3ws.ted.com for some of the best presenters in the business.